Welcome back to the Steve Perillo Travel Show. I am very proud. I'm actually ecstatic, and I don't even deserve to have her on my show. It's Pauline Frommer, right, Pauline?
Yes, that's correct.
Never say Frommer. Frommer rhymes with Homer. Daughter of American travel writer and legend Arthur Frommer, she's built a successful career in her own right and has her own line of guidebooks, the Pauline Frommer Guides. And they've all been acclaimed for her spend less, see more approach to travel. It's really great to have you here.
Well, it's lovely to be here. Thanks.
We both have famous fathers. My father passed away.
I'm sorry.
I know, but it was great. It was really great.
It's great to be in a family business that isn't dry cleaning, right?
It truly is.
Travel.
Tell me
what
about
could be
it.
better?
Tell me about it. But I was always in my father's shadow. How do you handle that? Or do you...
I guess he let me serve a real nice apprenticeship and taught me the tricks of the trade. And I guess because it's writing, you create your own voice. But I've been very lucky. I have the best editor in the business. Often when I have a new article, I give it to him. So I don't really feel like I'm in his shadow. He and I have become kind of like Gracie and Alan. We have a radio show together now, and we do a lot together, and it's incredible to have a partner who is just so brilliant and who knows everything and who has been in the business for over 50 years.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So tell us about your show, please.
Tell us about the radio show?
Yeah, your radio show.
Well, every Sunday from noon to 2, we're on WOR in New York City, and we're syndicated to about 120 radio stations nationwide. And all we do most of the time is answer questions live on the air. And sometimes we disagree, which can get a little painful.
That's the best part. What do you mean painful?
My father gets upset when we disagree. He once said to me in the commercial break, when we disagree, it's like you're saying 50 years of my life meant nothing.
Right.
But then he started hearing that people like it when we disagree.
That's the best part, right. Confrontational radio, even though, you know, you keep it to
done in a loving manner.
I know, I hear
but
the show all the time.
we sometimes disagree. So it's interesting. It's a lot of fun.
So how do they hear the show around the country? If it's syndicated or...
It's syndicated. You can either find it on your local radio station or you go to WOR710.com and we have live streaming audio there.
All right, listen, I did a calculation. $5 a day, Europe. In 1965, was that about the
57.
year? 57.
57. We just celebrated the 50th anniversary of the books. He was a young GI. Everybody assumes he's dead because, you know, the books have been around for so long, but he was in his early 20s when they came out.
So he hit it big when, in 1957 with the series?
1957 was when Europe on $5 a day debuted. He was actually working full-time as a lawyer and did it part-time from his living room.
Same as my dad. He was a lawyer and he turned to travel. And that's
Wow.
something. So I did a calculation. $5 a day, 1957 is worth about $40 today. Have you ever done this?
No.
Can you think of a way to write a $40 a day in Europe today? Is it
well,
even?
if you look at
at
my guidebooks, the Pauline Frommer guides, there are ways to do it, but you have to stay away from the traditional ways of traveling. So, for example, in London, you can stay in a local's apartment in your own room with a private bathroom and getting breakfast in the morning for £22 a night. So £22 a night is what, $32?
Right.
And that gives you another $8.
You could do it. You could almost
do it, I guess, with ramen noodles to keep yourself alive. But, you know, it would be tough.
So you need alternative accommodations. A regular hotel, you'd have to go to such a low level of hotel.
Well, there are these chains in Europe now, like Travelodge, which is much nicer than the Travelodge in the U.S., that are in central London, that are in Edinburgh, that are all over the UK, and actually in Spain too. And they sometimes have these deals. They have one going on right now where they'll sell you a room for £12 a night. And I've stayed in them, and actually those 12-pound rooms, they have pull-out couches, so you can fit your whole family of 4 in one.
Wow.
So there are ways to do it. It takes a lot of research. And one of the differences between the Pauline Frommer guides and other guidebooks is we concentrate on adult budget travel. We think that there are a lot of books out there for backpackers and a lot of books for the Ritz-Carlton set, but very few telling the vast majority of people how to see Europe and Costa Rica and the United States comfortably, but still saving a heck of a lot of money. And the way you do it is through alternatives.
Alternatives are convents,
Convents,
agriturismo,
monasteries, agriturismo, staying in these private apartments. There are, besides convents and monasteries, there are other religious accommodations. For example, in New York City, there's a place called the House of the Redeemer. It was owned by the granddaughter of J.P. Morgan. It is this incredible mansion right off Fifth Avenue in the 90s, the most expensive area of New York City. Yet you'll pay $95 a night to stay there in a private room.
Incredible.
And you don't even have to pray. They don't check. It's non-denominational.
Incredible. So your guidebooks, how do you put them together? So much work goes into, so many details go into a book.
Yeah.
You can't possibly do it alone,
Well,
can you? Or in some cases you can?
In my series, there are 14 books. I've written 4 of them, and then I hire writers for the other areas. In a place like Italy, we'll have 6 writers dealing with different areas. But because my father's books were started with one voice, telling you what to do, and it became a voice you trusted, we have our writers cover everything within an area. They don't use stringers. They go to visit all the hotels by themselves. For example, when I was doing my Las Vegas book, Pauline Frommer's Las Vegas, I stayed in a different hotel every other night for 2 months. I would put my clothes in the trunk of my car, and I would just grab what I was wearing for the night and go in to see the hotel. And I ate 6 meals a day, and I saw all the long-running shows, and I tried indoor skydiving and took a stripping class. You know, I did everything there is to do.
I have to see that sometime.
Yeah.
Tell me about user-generated content and your opinion of TripAdvisor type of...
I think it can be valuable for really au courant things. For example, no guidebook or magazine could ever tell you that there's construction happening across the street. What's happened the last week. But I think that they've become so powerful that marketing people are using them to a much greater extent than the public realizes. It's called buzz marketing, and they go on and post literally hundreds of reviews for their clients, giving 5-star reviews to Marriott, to Hyatt, whatever it is. And so you have no way of knowing whether the review you're reading is advertorial or real. That's the one thing. And the second thing is, when you're taking advice on hotels, if it is a real review, you're talking to a person who's seen exactly one hotel.
They don't have a point of comparison.
So they may not know that right up the street is a much nicer place. So,
and also the standards for that region. They don't know the... you have to see 25 hotels to get an idea of
and you also have to know
stands.
where the attractions are and where the good restaurants are, because it's about location, to me, with hotels. That's such a big factor.
Pauline, could you remind everyone how they can get your books and how they can hear you every week?
Well, you can go to frommers.com/Pauline to learn all about the Pauline Frommer guidebooks. And then if you're not in an area where our radio show is heard, go to WOR710.com and you'll hear live streaming audio.
Can you hear it during the week, playback?
Oh, yeah, we have podcasts up all week, or you can hear us live.
Fantastic. It's an honor to see you. I hope to see you again.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thank you very much. And I will see you next week. Is this the right camera, guys?
That one over there.
Oh, this is the right guy. There you are. Whoa. All right. Who got me this chair? I will see you next week, and thank you for joining us on Travel Show Live with Steve Perillo.